Hello beautiful people, my name is Sarah Alothabi and I am dedicated to making weekly videos to hold us all accountable to being the best versions of ourselves, because if we can be the best versions of ourselves, that means that we can enhance the lives of all the other people around us. Today's topic, how to not care what other people think about you. And the reason I really wanted to do this topic is because it's one of the keys of developing self-confidence. So the way that we don't care about what people think of us is disassociation. We need to disassociate ourselves and distance ourselves from other people's thoughts. I know it sounds easier than said than done, right? Especially in moments. We've all been in situations, and especially when we're younger, which is usually where we build this pattern, where we get judged and people tell us things that are not necessarily nice. And the first thing that you really need to do is recognize that what people say about you is really a reflection of their own insecurities. And honestly, when you dive deep into it, and I've looked back at kind of key lynch points in my life where I had people say things to me that had actually really hurt me. And when I realized what these situations were about, especially for other people, it was usually a reflection of them and what they were going through at the time. One of the things that I would like to share with you is actually when I was quite young, I remember being told that, I was in the car with my mum and one of our school friends in the back of the car, and I remember speaking about something and I was really elated and excited and what I wanted to communicate and share with the rest of the car. I don't exactly remember the topic, but I remember saying something and I was told to be quiet by one of the other students, basically told to shut up, that I didn't make sense. And I was like, I was very confused, and it was just, be quiet, you don't make sense. And what you're saying doesn't make sense, and you don't make sense. And I kind of froze for a little bit, and it was one of those existential moments where you're kind of sitting there like, and I don't know if any of you at all have ever felt anything like this. If you have, type yes in the comments. But you have those reflection moments where you're like, but does nobody understand me then? Like, if you can't understand what I'm speaking or what I'm communicating, like, well, what is the point? What is my point and my purpose? And that's honestly what it all ties back to, is you need to be able to have that confidence in yourself that you are worthy, you do have a purpose, and you do have a point in life and on this planet, and it's nobody's business and nobody's responsibility either, right? So when somebody has a comment and they say something like that to you, it's usually a reflection of what's going on with them, and it doesn't have anything to do necessarily with you. But the second piece of feedback I will give you is that if you feel a trigger during that situation, it's important to note it, because the universe is using them as a mirror to tell you something about yourself. So when I felt a trigger in that situation, meaning I felt that negativity and I felt that embarrassment about somebody saying something about me, right? If you feel that, notice that there's a trigger in you and there's something inside you that needs to be healed, but don't take the information in, right? Don't take the information in and hold on to it. And there's another video actually that talks about negative energies and how to release them. I'll link it below, but it's important to do both of these, right? You recognize the trigger, you kind of make a mental note, save it for later, because you can review that in yourself and say, you know what, why did that affect me so much? One, was it because that person holds some value in my mind and some ideas, Or two, was it because I actually do feel that about myself and it's something that I need to improve? Based on that story, and why I shared it is because after that, I got super serious, which was good. It was a good trigger from the universe, because I was like, oh my God, if I'm trying to have conversations with people and I'm trying to share these ideas and these thoughts that I have, if people don't understand me, then what's the point? I need to learn. So I got very, very focused when it came to English, and I tried to learn and read as much as possible because I wanted to be able to communicate. And I had this idea in my mind that I just didn't make sense, right? And it's funny because you don't realize the impact that these words and these things have on you until much later in life. Looking back, I can link some of the things that I've even done in my life now to develop myself as a speaker, just because it was all linked back to that, really. And it started from there, which was somebody saying that I didn't make sense. And that drive and that need inside of me was like, I need to make sure that I make sense. I need to make sure that people know what I'm saying and can understand it. I want to be able to relate to other people. I want to be able to empathize. I want to be able to communicate on a deeper level, not just with words. So I hope this is helpful for you guys. Really, anybody can say what they want at the end of the day. Your response to it is what matters. And whether you decide to take that in or leave it at the door is the most important thing. And always distance yourself from it and recognize that what they're saying is a reflection of themselves. It's not a reflection of you. Only what you believe about yourself is a reflection of you. Take care, love, peace, and bye for now.